Kesar is a company in Canada, and so someone came down here, designed the organ, made the plan, they drew up the drawings. They built the organ up in Canada, and then they brought it here. Initially, when this church was built, none of this was here. It looks like it's kind of built in. Well, it is built in. It was designed to fit right in that corner. But they built all of that wood, the base, that big box, and all of these pipes. And then they took it apart and brought it here. It came in one big semi-truck. And this came as well. And boy, they had to get a really big sort of crane lift to get the old, we had an electronic organ before, so you yanked that one up, took it down over the rail, dropped it down. And then they lifted this one up and brought it up here. It didn't come off the stairs. And then they had people bring a lot of the pipes, people just carried in, which was really cool because they asked the church members to come, and some of them, it took 3 people to carry because they're big and long. And then others, and it gave us all gloves, and others we just, took a pipe in each hand and carried it from the truck and brought it up here. And it took quite a while, obviously, to put all that together. Okay, I want to talk to you a little bit about the different sounds. And this is where what instruments we have. We got our trumpet, right? Okay, get it out, get it ready. And we got a trombone. Did we get a flute?
She forgot it.
Forgot her flute. All right.
We have clarinets, though. Yeah.
We got a clarinet?
I think we have clarinets.
Okay, get those out too. Get those out too. Okay, so I'll talk about the flutes just first. Now, well, actually I won't talk about the flutes. I'll talk about this kind of sound. This kind of pipe is a pipe. It sounds like an organ, okay? It's the kind of the basic kind of sound on an organ is called a diapason or a principal. There's different names in different countries. And so, if I wanted to play a note like this, I would maybe play this. Okay? That sound just sounds like an organ. And that's coming from a pipe a little bit like this one. So that's what it sounds like. Okay? And, sometimes you can play a piece just on this sound, or you add more and more sounds to it. So these are the diapason pipes. I think that's the only one I have.
Why do you have the extra pipes?
These pipes are not anything to do with this organ. I got them from a guy who had them. And I was going to talk, when we got the organ, told him I was going to talk to kids about organs. I said, do you have a few spare pipes? Someone told me he did. And I've had him for many years. I wish I could have gotten more from him. He has unfortunately passed away, and I don't know what happened to his pipes. He had stacks of them. Stacks of them. So anyhow, so that's the diapason. Another kind of sound would be a flute sound, okay? And let me see, which flute should I start with? I guess I'll start with this flute. So on the organ over here, here's what the flutes would be sounding like. Most of the time we hear flutes maybe a little higher up here, like this. Okay, and so over here, here's a flute pipe, kind of a low one, partly because it has this cap on it. That makes it sound an octave lower. Here's another flute. Surprised me at first that a round metal pipe doesn't sound a whole lot different from a square wood pipe. This one does sound a little more like a train whistle, right? And that's what train whistles are made for. They look a lot like this. They're square and wood. And I guess I can kind of tell the difference now. Maybe you can too, but to me it's not a lot different. So this is a flute sound. Question asked. Yeah, these, or this, they make it sound an octave lower. But it just doesn't work without it. But there are ones like this that then would sound higher than that because they're short. Okay? Question?
So, and then my foot is supposed to have wire. That there's a wire in there that is stuck so I can play it?
No, there's no keys. You know, that's the thing. If we play a regular wind instrument like the flute or the clarinet, you have devices, gadgets, and gizmos to make different pitches. This pipe is only designed to make one pitch. That's why you need all the different pipes, because there's no changing. There's nobody up there with holes or anything up there. So that's a couple differences. Yes, question? I'm not going to go up there, although I was up there just a couple weeks ago. Question?
So he was like, so for those people like this, is it a somebody played when we doesn't born it?
When what?
When is it coming out for like what years?
Oh, what years? Well, these have been around hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah. Same as your flute. Okay, so we've heard some flutes. Now we could hear some strings. Now you guys hear stringed instruments around here. I could have brought one up if I didn't think about that, but I don't want to hear it right now. But here's a pipe that's meant to sound like a stringed instrument. It doesn't sound exactly like a string, but it sounds a little different. It doesn't really sound like the flute, does it? Here's a stringed instrument over here. Let's see. And I can add a little effect. Okay, so that's a string sound. And so I guess one of the things I'm kind of saying without saying it is that as organs got bigger, some people had the idea to make the pipe organ into an orchestra, a one-man orchestra. So they started to make these pipes that sounded like all different instruments. Okay? So how about, can you just play some notes on your clarinet for us? Just a scale or something. Okay, so that's what a clarinet sounds like, and I'm not going to mess with it much, but the thing that makes a clarinet have a lot of its unique sound is that little reed on there, okay? That's a little piece of reed that is a plant that grows, and then it would cut off a little piece and put it on there. Otherwise, it would sound like a flute, but that makes it sound like a reed. So pipes can sometimes have reeds too, and it's a lot like her clarinet reed, but if you can see, it's pretty small, but right there's a little metal piece. So your reeds wear out, and eventually you've got to get a new one. These happily are metal, and they never wear out, but they vibrate, or almost never. They vibrate, and they give the pipe a unique sound. So let me play the pipe that's supposed to sound like a small reed like what she's playing there. Okay, so that sounds kind of like a clarinet or maybe an oboe, right? And you could use that all by itself, and it's not too terribly loud. But what if you wanted a loud reed? Well, the other kind of pipes we have are trumpets, okay? And they, like I was showing you, this has a reed in it too. So let's hear a few notes on your trumpet. Okay. Here's a trumpet pipe. Now, this might be a little louder than that last one. Okay. That's pretty loud. And then, okay, let's hear. So you know a trumpet is a certain range, but look how he's got a different brass instrument, and it's longer. You know, it's longer. So if the path of air is longer, how's that going to make the instrument sound? Higher or lower? What do you think? Lower. So give us a few notes there. There we go. Pretty low. So here's this is a tuba pipe. It's just a little lower. But I kind of laugh at these instruments because they really help me understand how they work. So the air goes all around here, and when he presses these valves, that changes the distance that the air is traveling, and that's how you can make the different pitches. All right? When you play a trombone, what do you do to change the notes? You do some things with your lips, but the slide. So when he's open, now the air's got to go all the way that far. When he closes it, look at the path is shorter. So imagine if we had a trombone and we wanted to make a pipe. Well, they don't like the bend business. So imagine we could unfold this trombone and it would just be straight and spread out. That's the kind of pipes we have to make the trombone sound. So now let's look right here. These tall pipes here they look bigger and taller than the others, right? Just about the tallest. But what you can't see from where you're sitting is that they don't come just to here like the other pipes do. Those pipes actually come all the way to the floor. And as you leave, maybe you can take a peek in here. And so they're just like an unfolded trombone. So let's hear what the trombone sounds like. Usually use it on the pedals. Okay? Say what that sounds like. You know what it sounds like. And you might use that sound by itself for a certain piece of music, but more often than not, you use it with a bunch of other pipes. The other low pipes that I think several of us can see, especially the front row here, if you see along the back, you see some wood pipes. They're right along the wall there. They look a lot like these. They look a lot like those up there as well. But they do not have a stopper, and so they don't just go down to that level, they go all the way to the floor. So let's see what those low pipes sound like. That's the longest one. So those are the ones that it took actually like 3 guys to carry those in. I got some good pictures which I didn't dig out for you in some video. But there would be 3 guys and they had 3 in a row, and then the pipes were on everybody's shoulder and they came in through the door like that. So those are the big low pipes. There actually are some of the biggest organs like this one I was talking to you about. The longest of those trombone and then those principal pipes are 16 feet long. There are actually pipes that are then twice as long as that, and they're like a full octave lower than we just heard. Not too many of those, because that'd be very expensive to build those big pipes. But there are some pipes that are just about that big. I just found on the internet a picture of a man standing next to pipes like that, and the pipe was about this big around. You know, there were several of them, of course. And he was standing there looking up, you know, so it would probably be, you know, instead of going to this floor, they would go all the way to the floor of the church. I mean, it would be the height of that whole wall. Not very many organs are that big, but there are some, yes.
Can I go in this?
Yeah, except to get in there, you've got to get on the ladder. And that's why you have to, and that's very dangerous. So no, I am not going to, because your principal would not let you. I would get in big trouble with your principal with that. As we go, later when we leave, we'll give you a chance to peek in here and you can at least see the long pipes. Oh yeah, they are really heavy. Another thing I can tell you about the pipes, I guess I haven't shown you all the pipes I have. Here's the biggest one I have. And I used to pass these around a bit to some of the kids, but I just don't do that anymore for two reasons. One, it's based on one reason. They're made of partly lead. And lead is a certain kind of metal, and it does affect the sound. So when you have a pipe made of lead, it has a certain sound to it. And believe it or not, lead is quite soft, especially when it's, this thin. So you can see already that this pipe is kind of damaged. And actually, if I wanted to, I'm not that strong, but I could just bend this in half. I could crumple it up into a ball, because that's how soft the lead is. And that's why it's gotten dinged up here, and why the guy gave it to me. And then, of course, the other reason is lead is poison. And I don't know if it would bother you, but again, Mr. Domsh does not want his children placed at risk, so we're not going to be passing around any of our lead pipes. But this is the big, long, low one. It's a little tricky to blow in these and get them to play, because different organ pipes are designed for a different amount of pressure. So one pipe I might have to blow really hard, and another I might have to blow less hard. And then you can see in the front of the pipes over here, some of these pipes are as small as, we say, a pencil. And so these, of course, are probably not going to be the low sounds. These are going to be the highest sounds. Yeah, I think this one doesn't.
I can hear it.
It's working, but I can't get it. I got to know how hard to blow, and this one I got figured out. Now again, you might use that all by itself, but more often what you're going to do, like I showed you before, you're going to combine all of these sounds together. Okay? So maybe what I should do is just play a few things for you now. I think I'm going to stop